you... This is the most outrageous show on television. Wait a minute. We've got to get these people off television. Wait a minute. You're applauding. They go too far, these people. Well, now, look who's here. You better show up, guys. Let me show you. This excitement that you hear in Los Angeles is for the cast of In Living Color. Brian, I just want to show them, let's show them. Well, the first cut is, Minister Farrakhan. From In Living Color, Fox Network, Sunday nights, 8 o'clock. Watch this. I can't believe this is happening on television. Roll the tape.
That's right. Rise the
Mr. Spock, my friend, we've got to do something.
Why do you say we, Caucasoid? It's obvious, Captain, that Minister Farrakhan is right.
Spock, are you out of your Falcon mind?
Well, logically speaking, Captain, I am the strongest and most intelligent person aboard this vessel, yet I'm only second in command. Mm-hmm. I should be captain. And I'm also a better director than you. Can't you see it's discrimination?
You get off my ship, buddy.
Put your puny weapon down, Captain. You cannot harm me. My people have survived 400 years of slavery. 300 years of apartheid. And 25 years of the Jeffersons in syndication. Very good!
What is... All right.
It's okay.
Keenen, Ivory, Wayans, only the genius overseeing this. Take a good look at these people because they are not long for our airwaves. Somebody's going to come down from the mountain, and that's going to be it. You got to be making them crazy. You are also drawing a very large crowd on the Fox network. Keenen, you're the executive producer, writer, star of Living Color, and you make bacon and eggs in the morning, too, I guess. Seated next to the girl he taught her everything she knows, his sister Kim Wayans, who has... Show him the next one. Show them the next one. You know, when they imitate you, you get real scared. So far I've dodged this bullet. I'm out here praying and hoping. Show them. Here's just a montage. This just to give you some idea what they're doing. Oh, to be a talk show host.
Arsenio Hall Show, starring Arsenio Hall. And here's Eddie Murphy's best friend, and don't you forget it, Arsenio!
In her own television show, Miss Marsha Warfield.
David Allen Grier, Tony Award nominee, graduate of Yale School of Drama, will excuse us. Jim Carrey, you can't go on TV now if you don't have a foreigner. He's from Toronto, Canada. He began doing comedy in a topless bar. I ought to know. It says so right here. Tommy Davidson, also star of... Here she is from Chicago, Illinois. She can't be all bad. She's from Chicago and has done it all, even though she's just a child, a young adult. Takia Crystal Keymáh is here. Last but not least, here's the token white girl, Kelly Coffield, the New York native. All right, enough's enough. Now, are you making him crazy? Keenen, are you all right with the censorship? Is there a censorship department at Fox?
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't think we're allowed to say anything.
yeah, right, we can't talk about
I see.
it. No, actually, the show, I mean, the whole intent of the show was sort of to stretch the boundaries of what has normally been seen on TV. So it's a constant sort of battle with the censors, but it's a good work environment. And I mean, I understand that they have a job to do and they understand I have a show to do. So we try to find some middle ground and go from there.
Mm-hmm. You have been, there's been some things that have been clipped, I think.
Yeah.
And do I have your time period right now? We better get all this straight. 8 o'clock.
Sunday at 8 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, you're sure having fun about this. Keenen, the book on you is you grew up in New York, big family. How many kids?
10 kids.
Yeah. Did you manage a McDonald's when you were 17?
Yeah, well, all the dirt comes out.
Right. Yeah. Well, did he ever beat up any of your boyfriends, Kim? Let's get right to the big stuff here.
It never progressed to that point. He scared them all away just by being. He intimidated them all away.
David, you were in Dream Girls, lots of things. You've also been All My Children. You probably knew that, didn't you? And you a Baby Broom. You've been on a different world.
David was also the grape in the Fruit of the Loom.
If you haven't seen In Living Color, if you have not seen In Living Color, you're missing television. I mean it. Talk about pushing it to the edge. Maybe the system is going to work. We've got now another network challenging the big three. Only makes me a little nervous. Well, how do you feel about this? Have you seen? You've seen. I can tell that you. You want to see men on films, right? Now, wait a minute. All right. Here are the in residence reviewers of the latest films. Men on Films. Here it is, In Living Color.
Public Access presents Men on Films.
Hello, I'm Blaine Edwards, and I'm Antoine Merriweather, and welcome to Men on Films. We're going to be reviewing the latest film from a male point of view. First up is that controversial movie, Do the Right Thing. Now, I really like little Spike Lee's courage in making this film. I especially like the way he mixed the racial tension with the violence in order to give his message, do the right thing. Come on out the closet. Don't be afraid to be who you is. Black, white, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Now I'd like to talk about a film I've been anxiously waiting to see, Great Balls of Fire. I ain't gonna touch it. But the title alone gets 2 snaps up. And we finally have Dangerous Liaison, starring John Malkovich and Glenn Close. You know, John Malkovich is like every moviegoer's fantasy. I found myself just alone at night just thinking about his intensity. Yeah. What you think of Glenn Close? Oh, I loved him. And I really have to admire the producers for daring to cast a man in that role. I mean, that really made the picture for me. Hello? Glenn Close is a woman. Clutch the pearls. What a sneaky fancy.
Now you're going to have to accept some questions from your struggling host here. The Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation is very upset with this. It does get laughs, no doubt about it. Now, what do you say to those politically active folks in this, gay and non-gay alike, who think that this is just going to make it worse for a community already beleaguered? Anybody?
Well, first off, all the sketches on the show have to be looked at within the context of the show. And it's not as though we isolate any particular group. We make fun of everybody. And so I don't think that anybody should have a chip on their shoulder when it's a free-for-all. And the other thing, too, is the sketch is not a bashing sketch. We don't do jokes about any issues related to gay people. It's really a play on the extremes of the stereotype, and that's it.
Would you do was it Lightning and, who was the Amos and Andy? 'Cause sure wish I know what was going on around here.
No, but see, that's
you remember that? I mean, boy, all white America just like we like black people, dumb and funny. I sure just shuffle along. And it killed the whole... I mean, all it... See what I mean? No, tell me now. You're the Yale guy. Get in this thing.
The Homeboys shopping network is a stereotype that a lot of black people would consider a negative stereotype, but we criticize and make fun of black people, women, men, and everything. So that image that you're talking about is a very archaic image. It's something that young kids don't identify with, but we take the images of today and poke fun at them.
Right, and even with the stereo, you use Amos and Andy. Amos and Andy wasn't at all didn't at all have any validity or authenticity. It was not even an exaggeration. It was someone else's creation. And the stereotypes that we do poke fun at, but see, that's the other thing you have to understand, that in any sketch variety format, you're going to make fun of stereotypes.
Yeah.
You have to draw from what most people's idea of whatever these particular characters are, else you're doing something very self-indulgent and obscure. So
a caricature is a drawing of something that is based in reality, but you stretch it and exaggerate it.
Right.
That's what it is.
As Lightning was.
No, Lightning had no validity. Lightning was someone else's idea of. There was no authenticity with him.
We all know that old people cross the street slower than us, so that when you make fun of old people and you exaggerate that, there are some old people who may be offended, but we know it's based on a reality.
Okay, but just for the sake of our discussion, you cannot do this. And I'm not sure where I am on this, really. I mean, I want a world where everybody's allowed to, come on, let's see it. And if it's funny, fine. If it isn't,
Wait a minute, you're saying that the gay and lesbian task force, but I know that I've talked to homosexual reporters who were not offended. We get letters every day
from homosexuals that ask us never to stop doing it.
But you can't be upset at the character Lightning and do this, is my point.
You couldn't find one black person in America that said, hey, keep doing Lightning. There were none. You know what I mean?
So you understand then why a gay community would...
No, but see, but it's not the
all
gay...
right, let me understand this. Kelly, please, we want you in here. You're allowed to speak.
Well, I am the token white, Phil, and I really think... No, it's apples and oranges. It really is. I mean, what's being said here is true. That character, Lightning, was not based in reality. It was a fictional thing that was made up to perpetuate hate.
Yes.
It was an exaggerated notion of a child of God, irreplaceable human being who happened to be an uneducated sharecropper type of black fellow who sat on the front porch and was very nice to children. That's what I'm saying.
No, he was a purpose, right?
To perpetuate a stereotype that didn't exist.
Well, the gays are going to find it just a little bit curious that you're going to shoot down this the Lightning figure.
Representative of all gays.
Why didn't you pick one of the black characters that we do that some members of the black community find offensive? Why did you pick that gay character? There are a lot of black people don't like the Homeboy shopping network because they say that perpetuates a negative stereotype.
Right, but see, the other thing too,
characters are not representative of all gays.
Yeah.
But they are not representative of all gays. They are two particular men.
Right.
And
Also,
they're not pretending to be anything else.
If you don't offend someone in comedy, then you're not doing your job. If everyone...
We're not trying to say in sketches, I think that we steer clear of saying one kind of character or one race or whatever is better than another.
Okay.
That's the kind of sketch you don't want to get into.
Here's the Home Shopping Network. As rendered by In Living Color, the Homeboy Shopping Network. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Watch this. Roll the tape.
Yeah, y'all, but now for you cable buffs out there, man, we got something special for you. Check this out. Check this out. Now, not only will you get like all the cable stations out there, but you'll be able to talk directly to the astronauts. Ain't that lovely? Show them the other stuff. Show them the other stuff. Now this is something special. You talk about at-home baking. Yo, all you gotta do is hook this bad boy up in your house, and what you got? You throw the card in there, boom, or somebody else's card, boom, like that. More money, more money, more money.
Yeah. And I suppose there's not a whole lot of, and there's probably a lot of folks mad about you for that.
Yes, but see, it's not a matter of folks being mad. See, like I said, when you can take any show and isolate and find something to criticize. Right. But when you have a show, like I said, you have to look at the show for its entirety. Right. And in the entirety of In Living Color, the Homeboys is one sketch. The Men on Film is one sketch. But then we've done other sketches that have had very positive portrayals of people and have been on a different level of humor. So within the half hour, you see a variety of portrayals of different groups. So it's not the the Homeboys Shopping Network show. It's not the Men on Film show. It's In Living Color, and you get a broad variety of humor. The other thing too that bothers me is that the issues of race only come into play because this is a multi-ethnic cast. Saturday Night Live, no one has ever sat down Saturday Night Live and said, you're making fun of white people. How dare you show white people in this light? No, only minority artists are victimized by the politics that are brought into your creativity, and that is wrong.
Yeah.
2 snaps on
Yes, sir.
Well, I certainly don't think I have to speak for these people, but I would say that one thing that differentiates what they do from just a stereotype that might a black Andrew Dice Clay, if anything, is these people talk about personalities. I start recognizing, even though I've not met the two guys in Men on Film, I started recognizing people. I get to feel the way they think. I could almost anticipate what they're going to say and how they're going to react. It's a real personality more than just a caricature or a character.
So you're impressed with the material, the delivery, the rendering, and it's not just it's not about a swishy affectation.
I think snaps up.
Yeah. Yes, you're allowed to. Yes, ma'am, you speak.
I just think that anybody who has a problem with In Living Color really should lighten up, because I think it just pokes fun at all of us, and everybody can find something to laugh at.
Who got the show together and who did the casting? Keenen?
Yeah.
I was figured because your sister's on the show. Are you looking for another white actress or dancer?
I auditioned. I was there sweating it out with everybody else.
She did. I don't.
I've been to audition.
She did. I didn't play. No, I have 10 brothers and sisters, and there's 8 others who would love to be on the show. I just put the ones on the show who were capable and were able to compete amongst all the other folks that.
Tommy Davidson recently had a successful Showtime special. Tommy Davidson taking us to D.C. Nice work. You're doing real good, as they might say. You opened for Patti LaBelle, Anita Baker, Luther Vandross. Huh?
I've been having a good time. I've been growing a lot with the cast. When I first came on the cast, I wasn't an actor. I was a comedian. And I've had the opportunity to do some acting, and I've grown a tremendous amount on the show.
Hi.
It's
what's your favorite skit or character that you've done?
Everybody?
Character? Who do you like to do? Who do you like to do, Kim?
Well, my favorite character is this woman named Benita Betrell.
Tell me about it.
Well, she's a sad pup. She has no life of her own. Everybody knows someone like this. She has like no real life of her own. So what she does is she just sits around talking about other people, kind of living vicariously, but tearing them down at the same time because she wishes that she could be a part of the things that they get to do that she doesn't participate in. So every time you see her, she's talking to camera actually, but it's like, it's like a little world she creates where people go by and she just reads them up and down and sideways.
But she's not one to gossip.
But she's not one to gossip. So you ain't heard it from me.
Takia, this audience probably already knows, and those who don't will not be surprised that you were almost Miss Black America. You were a runner-up, and you are... It says here you're a stunt woman, so?
Well, you got all the really cool
we got the book. Wait till we get to the B page here for the rest of it.
No, I've done stunts. I started out, I was working as a stand-in in a movie for this little boy because in Chicago there are not very many black stunt people and fewer females. And so they were looking for a stunt person. I said, what do they have to do? And they said some car crashes. And I said, well, that sounds like fun. Let me do it. And so it's fun. I wouldn't do anything that I could break my neck doing. So.
We are in Los Angeles with the outrageously creative cast of In Living Color, the Fox entry on Sunday night. And we do. Assuming we'll get away with this, we're going to show you some of the other things they do. And then I'm going to hide in the basement for the rest of the weekend. And we'll be back in just a moment. This is interesting. In a industry that's been slammed so often for blandness, steps forward Keenen Ivory Wayans and his In Living Color on the Fox network. Arsenio's upset.
No, he's not.
I don't know what's...
Why? In Arsenio's monologue, he makes fun of people all the time. In a more crueler way than what we did for him.
Well, show him, Brian. Here's, well, no, I'm just,
doing the show without introducing a very good friend of mine. Stopped in tonight. We're hanging out at the China Club last night. A real party animal. Won't you please give it up for my main man, Pope John Paul. Yes. Oh, we got a great
Yeah. Well, that's funny. That's funny. You do enhance his derriere in this character. And that's probably what makes him upset. You're saying, hey, loosen up. It's a laugh.
It's all about having fun.
But it's more than that, though. In order for someone to do a parody of you, it speaks to your level of achievement. You couldn't, if you weren't successful, no one could do a parody of you that anybody would care about. So it is a compliment to be flattered. It's a compliment to be impersonated. Now, the impersonation itself is a different story.
Right.
But, to do a funny impersonation, you don't find the best things about someone. You find either the worst or the funniest.
The obvious.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to know, from the time you conceived the idea to the time it went into full production, how long it took. And also, if you ran into a lot of trouble pitching it to the executives, knowing the format that it was going to be.
Well, the real It was a fairly quick process. I had done a film called "I'ma Get You, Sucker," and thank you. And the Fox executives, I invited the film guys to come down, but they didn't show up. The TV guys came instead. And they asked me to do something on television. I was very reluctant, but they persisted, and they said, you can do anything you want. And I said, really? And so I pitched this idea, and we went to pilot. The problems didn't really begin until, like, time for it to go on the air. That's when people got a little nervous about it. But it was a pretty quick process.
Hi. Are there any family members that disapprove of your show? Parents, aunts, uncles?
No, but we get weekly reviews from my mother and father. They call up after every show, and my mother will call me in the middle of a network run-through with a sketch idea she has. We get more written submissions from our family than we get criticism.
First of all, I want to tell you guys that you're all fantastic. I love your show, but where's Damon?
Well, Damon, you don't want me to tell? Well, he just had a pleasant thing happen in his family.
A wonderful thing happened
in his family again.
We can't tell you what it is.
What kind of hours do you guys work, and how long does it actually take to put together a half-an-hour show? Do you guys like just pull skits that you've done, or do you work on one show at one time?
No, it's all everybody puts in. That's the writers and the cast. I mean, they put in at least, I'd say, 14 to 16-hour days.
Now, you guys are funny, so no, I assume the writers aren't upset if you make no.
My question has to do with controversy in another direction with the name Living Color and the rock band Living Color.
Mm-hmm.
What litigation? I know there's litigation involved in it. What's come about of litigation?
Well, I'm not really at liberty to discuss it, even though it has been resolved. It really just had to do with them being a band and us being a TV show and confusion more than anything.
They're called In Living Color.
Right.
Yeah.
This is directed to the person on the second to the right. Can you please stand up and say how you do that? Go on, girl stuff. I like how you do that.
Go on, girl.
Do you tape in front of a live audience, and can we get tickets to go see it if you do?
Yes, we do, and yes, you can. You just, I guess it's kind of the same process as they do here. You got to call Fox Television, and they'll give you all the info.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Was Fox your first choice?
Fox was about the only place that I really felt would do this show.
I
Yeah.
wonder if I can try out to be a fly girl.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we're having open calls this Thursday for the Fly Girls.
Keenen, in the past you worked with Robert Townsend. Are we going to expect more collaborations between you and Robert?
Well, the film that Robert just finished, he and I wrote together, so we are still working together.
Well, you just answered my question. I was going to ask if you were going to be working on any full feature films or any other shows for television.
Yes.
You want to elaborate?
Well, during the hiatus, I'm going to be doing a film called Lloyd of London, and then I'm working on a television idea with Robert, as a matter of fact. So.
You co-produced Eddie Murphy's concert film, Raw.
Right.
And you're... did the whole family eat at the table at the same time? Did you say 10 kids?
Yes.
And wasn't that when the snappiness?
Well, our family was a family, and I think that's what has.
You walked each other
through.
back and forth to school. So.
Yeah, and we were always taught, to look out for each other. I mean, when we couldn't help but be a close family because we slept like 4 to a room. So. And when you're in a bed with 3 people, we would sleep with our arms around each other. We went to school. I'd have to hold her hand, and she'd have to hold the next one's hand. And we're kind of like a little trail on our way to school. And we always ate as a family. We did everything as a family. And consequently, we were our own best friends. And so all of our humor is very much in sync. Myself, Damon, Kim, Sean, everybody has the same sort of sensibilities. That's why it's great for me to work with them because, I can bounce off of them.
What did your dad do?
My father, while we were growing up, worked in a supermarket, and then he went on to have several small businesses.
Was there, and your mother was the boss, and you better believe it, was she that kind of mother, or?
My mother, I had the greatest mother in the world. She was, No, she was very. We didn't have much at all, but we never thought of ourselves as poor. We at times thought my mother was cheap, but we never felt poor. We never felt.
Well, but you weren't poor, were you? I mean, you were.
Oh, we were.
But your father was always employed. Do I understand this?
But you have to understand, my father's
It's
biggest.
all relative.
Yeah.
Employment is relative.
Yes. This is. I didn't know how bad off we were. I didn't know how bad off we were until I went to college. My father's biggest year was $12,000, and that was feeding 10 kids and his wife. You know, and clothing us and paying rent.
And your first job was what? At what age?
13.
And what did he beat on you at work? I mean, was there a lot of
I always my father was a great role model. I watched him get up and go to work every day, and I wanted to be like him. I wanted to put on a shirt and tie, and that's kind of how I avoided all of the negative things that were in the projects at that time. I had somebody that I thought was cool, and that was my father.
What was your first job at 13?
I was a delivery boy in a supermarket.
Uh-huh. And was Richard Pryor the guy that...
Yeah, he was my idol.
You saw him on TV? And
I watched him on the Della Reese show, and he was doing jokes about things that had just happened to me. I had just ran home from the school bully, and he was on TV talking about how I remember the routine. It was about how the bully beats you up before you actually get outside, and he had the guy going and doing all the stuff, and how he was across the room crying. I had just gone through it, and I was...
Before the guy hit him. The guy hasn't hit him yet.
Right, he hadn't hit him right, yeah. And I remember sitting there being so impressed with how he was making me laugh at this stuff, and I just said, I want to be like that guy.
How old were you at that time?
I was about 6 or 7 years old.
We're in Los Angeles with the cast of In Living Color. We'll be back in a moment. Here are the folks from In Living Color, the Fox network entry on Sunday night that's making lots of noise and lots of people nervous and all those other things. The creative people, too. Jim Carrey, I said you were from Toronto, Canada. They're going to love me for calling you a foreigner. Peggy Sue got married. Did you see that movie? Well, there he is. And you were quite an impressionist. Do they, I don't know whether this talent is necessarily exploited as it might be on this, within this ensemble.
The thing about the show that's great is that, it's not just impressions, you know, I can do anything I want. So, you know, if I got a chance to do everything, I'm happier than just sort of sticking in one area.
Were you the pop-off in high school who got in trouble and all that?
I never went to high school.
Really? Serious?
Yeah. I dropped out after grade 9.
No kidding?
Yeah.
Well,
I knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah. I have.
So kids, you know, out there, just follow your dream, you know? If I can be that kind of example, then, you know. No, I wish I had, but unfortunately I had to spend 8 hours a day in a fiberglass insulation making company, so to get by.
I have been remiss. The show's over, half over, and I haven't told you they only won the Emmy for the best comedy variety show on television. Come on. Here's one. Well, we're going to bring back the Hollywood Homeboys. The Hollywood Homeboys. Here they are. Home Shopping Network. Here are your hosts. Guess where they are? I haven't seen this, and I don't think you've used this yet.
No, it's come.
Well, thanks for letting us steal it here. This is before it even... They're in Beverly Hills. Imagine the potential here.
Was always getting blessed. They said California is the place that's looking good, so they found an empty truck and they moved to Hollywood Hills. That is tenderonis and the fresh Cadillac cars.
Now
Now, you seen it on TV, and thanks to us, you too can enjoy the lifestyles of the rich and famous. That's right. For only $19.95, not only will you get maps to the stars' home, but blueprints and floor plans of their security system. And as an added bonus, we'll throw in this here key to the city.
Are you all involved in creating the characters you play, or are they done by writers and you just take it from there?
Well, the cast is very much a part of the the original characters that you see on the show. They each have come and brought to the writing staff characters, people that they know, just characters that they have created on their own, and that's what gives the sort of variety that you see of personalities.
Yeah, after a while, you start doing impressions of your family.
Family, yeah.
You're like, well, my dad's deaf in one ear, and he goes, "Hey," just start putting it all in there.
You know what's great though is that Keenen has provided us with such a great work environment, and that encourages us to take an active role, and that's great because I've worked on a lot of shows, but I never had an environment like this, in which I can think up something, work with the writers, we tape it, and it's actually seen on like national TV, and within 2 or 3 weeks. It's incredible. Yeah.
He wrote a song about it. Want to hear
It just seems that Hollywood has very rigid standards in terms of the technique, and with this show, you know, it gives us the opportunity to just do what we want to do. It's great.
Sir. Have any of your sponsors threatened to pull their ads because of one of your sketches?
No, but we had a interesting thing happen. We did a parody of Code 45, and the network was afraid that it was going to cause all this like hoopla. But what happened was the Code 45 people called to ask me if I'd endorse them. So.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Are you going to bring back Homie the Clown soon?
Homie the Clown is...
Yeah, we have a new homie in the bank already.
Yes.
It'll be on a couple
Love you, don't change.
If you join us late, and if you're on the road without a television set on Sunday nights, you're missing one of the most outrageously creative entries in television in a long time. This is, no doubt about it, comedy that will reach out, snap your nose, and kick your bottom too. Here once again, we're returning to the late night talk show arena. Well, just watch this from In Living Color. Here he is again.
Just get right into it. Now, you're in the press a lot lately. You've had beautiful women inviting you to hotels. People following you everywhere you go. What's it like to be a sex symbol? I don't think you understand, Arsenio. I don't consider myself a sex symbol. I do consider myself a man who's been wrongly accused of a crime, and I'm here tonight to clear my name. All charges against me are false. There's been no proof of any wrongdoing on my part. Hey, you, wake up! I haven't read it, but my people tell me you've written a book. Well, I didn't write a book. I was booked. I understand you're in a new film. Now wait, no, see, they told me you wasn't supposed to ask me about that. Ah, brother. No disrespect to Morgan Freeman or Denzel Washington, but brother, I hear you are smoking. Wait, no, I'd rather not talk about that, right? Sandy, do we have a clip?
I've got it right here, Arsenio.
Kick it. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C. This is a setup. This is a setup. Get that camera on me. They were supposed to tell me the show was coming. Hey, Leroy! Leroy, man!
Since it's so much in the news today and everything, I'd like to kind of get some of your opinions on censorship. I mean, I hate to compare you with Two Live Crew. I mean, I think they're pushing their rights to the limit and all the way to the limit and beyond and abusing the rights we have here. But, I mean, you talked a little bit about a censorship. Tell me a little bit about that, what you feel and...
Well, I'd be happy to. Oh.
I mean, Two Live Crew as an example, I don't... See, when you talk about having rights, I don't think you can push your rights to the limit. It's your right. Right. And it's also each of us as individuals, it's our right whether or not we patronize the Two Live Crew or not. So in that context, I think that censorship is a very dangerous sort of threat to all of our rights. And once you begin with Two Live Crew or anyone, once you start, it only gets worse because now you're starting to give up your rights and you will wind up keep giving up and our society won't be what it's intended to be.
We'd never what?
We'd never have censorship if people didn't push their rights to the limit. I mean, if they didn't abuse the privileges.
Wrong. We wouldn't have censorship. We wouldn't have censorship if there weren't people who wanted to limit our rights.
Right. People are too free with giving up responsibility in this country. They would rather say you can't make that record and you can't make that movie and you can't have this television show than to find out where their kids are and what they're watching.
Very good, Kelly. Yeah, I got a break here. We'll be back in just a moment. We are here in L.A. with the cast of In Living Color. Kelly Coffield, did you see Field of Dreams? See that? I'll tell you what. Wow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Keenen, first of all, I think you're doing an excellent job with the show. How do you feel about being compared to Saturday Night Live?
Well, I mean, I like the comparison. Saturday Night Live is an institution. It was, in its heyday, it was the funniest thing on TV. So if we can come close to their achievements, I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Are you and Arsenio still on the outs after that parody of him? And
say it again?
Are you and Arsenio still on the outs after that parody of him?
No, Arsenio sent me first of all, he never said anything to me about being upset. He sent me a very nice card recently. So no. We're not.
Yeah.
I love all of you. How do you keep a straight face? How do you do it?
We're in a lot of pain. We're really in a lot of pain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Has there ever been a sketch that you've considered doing that you backed off from because you thought it might be too controversial?
Sammy. Yeah. There's been a few. Yeah. There's been a few that we just said, no, I don't think so.
Yes.
I just want to tell Jim, you are the most oddly bizarre person on the show because how do you get your body to be so oddly flexible? And how do you get your And can you like do that stomach thing you do?
Favorite character. Mine happens to be Homie, but who gets the most fan mail? Which character?
Probably Homie. Yeah, I think
SW1.
Homie?
Yeah,
we haven't seen Homie. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Homie the Clown. Go on, baby.
I'm Homie the Clown. Y'all ready to have some fun? Yeah! Alright, what y'all want me to do first?
Homie!
What?
Do a silly clown dance for us.
Oh. Yeah, degrade myself, huh? I don't think so.
Can we smash a cream pie in your face like they been doing the clowns and stuff?
Yeah! I think you got it backwards, son. Alright, how about a magic trick? Yeah! Who got it down? I do, homie! Here you go, homie! Alright, I'll fold it once. Ooh. Twice. Now it's gone. Ta-da!
Homie the Clown. That's Homie, and we'll be back with the cast of In Living Color in just a moment.
When things get tough, remember, Shake and Bake makes it easy to treat your family to plump, juicy pork chops without frying. Why fry? Shake and Bake.
Monday, I soak my dentures. Tuesday, I brush. Wednesday, I soak.
Wait, all you need is denture cream. Why soak when denture cream gets dentures nearly twice as clean? All you need is denture cream or fast-acting new denture foam.
Every day.
Thanks to our home equity loan from Statewide Capital, we were able to invest in a second home.
1-800-DIAL-CASH.
Thanks to our home equity loan from Statewide Capital, we were able to send Kevin to college.
1-800-DIAL-CASH.
1-800-DIAL-CASH. For years, homeowners have been calling us for fast, simple home equity loans. I'm John Green for Statewide Capital. We make borrowing money easy, even if you've been turned down by the bank or have past credit problems. So remember, Statewide Capital lends money fast. Call 1-800-DIAL-CASH.
Did you know Edie's Grand Ice Cream has come to New York?
Frankly, I couldn't care less.
You know, Edie's is California's #1 ice cream.
So what do you want, a medal?
You know, Edie's has luscious flavors like almond praline and double fudge brownie.
Can't you see we're playing here?
You New Yorkers can be tough to win over. But one taste of new Edie's chocolate fudge mousse and, well, you'll see.
Get out of here, I'll call a cop.
Edie's Grand Ice Cream. One taste, you'll see.
I'm going to be tied to these creams forever.
With laser surgery care, you can put an end to hemorrhoid suffering. Call 1-800-MD-LASER.
I don't have the time to take care of it right now.
With laser surgery, you can be home the same day.
I've heard the treatment can be very painful.
Done with a beam of light, there's less discomfort and a quicker recovery.
I never should have waited so long.
If you have hemorrhoids, don't wait. Call 1-800-MD-LASER today.
He is really sick again. I don't get this. Listen, he needs to talk to Tom about that meeting later today. Is he in? Well, what about his secretary? Honey, Tom's sick too. And Jane's sick. This is some flu bug. What is going on around there?
If going to work makes you sick, maybe it's not your job. Some buildings breed disease, even death. Watch Ralph Penza's special report. Is your building making you sick? Tonight at 6 and 11 on News 4 New York.
For a transcript of today's show, send $3 to Donahue Transcripts, 267 Broadway, New York, New York, 1007, or call 212-227-READ.
In Living Color, Fox Network, Sundays at 8. Yes.
I think for prime time entertainment, this is the best thing since Laughing.
Keenen, have you entertained the thought of maybe adding a Hispanic or Asian cast member to
How did I know you were going to ask that question? Yes, I have. We've had one of each come and guest on the show, and I'm still out trying to find some Latin.
How many more years are you going to be able to do this? Keep it up.
Services provided and promotional fees paid by the following.